Ever wondered what the world would look like if the Great War had never ended and city-states had risen from the ashes to vie for global dominance? Welcome to Kaiserpunk, the latest creation from Overseer Games. My name is Tom from LT Gaming, and today I'm diving into this grand city builder that uniquely fuses intricate city management with expansive grand strategy, all set in an alternate 20th century world between 1918 and 1945, the interbellum era. In Kaiserpunk, you're not just building a city, you're forging an empire. Beyond establishing housing and public services for your citizens, you're going to develop industries, produce war materials, and raise formidable armies to expand your dominion across a dynamic world map. So if the idea of constructing industrial empires and orchestrating strategic conquest excites you, stick around for this one. Before we embark on this journey through alternate history, don't forget to drop a like for the algorithm, comment your thoughts on this one below, and subscribe to LT Gaming for more in-depth looks at groundbreaking titles like Kaiserpunk. Now let's delve into the mechanics that make this game a standout experience. Kaiserpunk transports us to an alternate timeline where World War I never concluded, and it's led to a fragmented world of competing city-states. As a leader of one such city-state, your mission is to build a thriving metropolis, manage intricate production chains, and expand your influence through diplomacy or warfare. The game seamlessly combines detailed city-building mechanics, and they are very detailed, with expansive grand strategy elements, offering a fresh take on this genre. In this production-focused city builder, every choice you make from urban planning to industrial development affects your empire's trajectory. The integration of city management with grand strategy requires players to balance internal development with your external global ambitions, so it creates a very dynamic and immersive experience overall. The game's alternate history allows for creative technological advancements such as blimps and unique industrial designs, giving a nice distinctive flair to the gameplay. Kaiserpunk's unique blend of different genres does give you a very layered experience. You go from managing a city's internal affairs to plotting global domination, and it requires you to be thoughtful and adaptable in your approach. A lot of intricate mechanics and a rich setting overall is challenging players to navigate these complexities of empire building. Now I'll break down for you at its core what Kaiserpunk is offering. First and foremost, it's a robust city building experience. You're going to design and manage every aspect of your city state, from housing and industry to public services and transportation networks. The game's production focused approach means that how you structure your city directly impacts your empire's efficiency and growth. With over 90 buildings and numerous upgrades available, your decisions shape the destiny of your burgeoning metropolis. Zooming out a little bit now, beyond your city limits, the world becomes your strategic playground, or more accurately, battlefield. With over 100 regions to influence or conquer, you'll engage in diplomacy, trade, and warfare. The game emphasizes logistics and resource management, and it makes you strategically plan to ensure your military campaigns are well supported. Seamlessly transitioning between city management and global strategy, Kaiserpunk challenges you to balance your internal development with your external ambitions. Now of course I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the setting. Set between 1918 and 1945, Kaiserpunk reimagines history with a what-if scenario. Essentially World War I continued, and the setting allows for creative technological advancements, so you'll see things like war blimps and unique industrial designs, and it gives a distinctive flair to the gameplay overall. The game's aesthetic draws heavy inspiration from the early 20th century prototypes, and it gives you a fresh perspective on historical events and overall just a very unique feel and vibe to the game. I've spent quite a few hours now building my city-state up in Kaiserpunk, and I must say it's got me properly hooked. Right off the bat, the visual style struck me. It captures this gritty industrial vibe of the endless Great War that they're picturing for you. Yet it still manages a strangely comforting charm. Honestly, there were moments where I caught myself just watching my citizens go about their day, fascinated by the factories churning and people moving about lifting boxes, airships sometimes drifting overhead. It genuinely pulls you into this alternate history. The depth of the city building mechanics is impressive overall. I loved having complete control over every street and building placement, and the sheer number of upgrades makes your city feel very unique. Each choice I made, whether it was zoning in on residential districts, placing factories, or laying down transportation, felt meaningful and strategic. And it was something akin to Soviet Republic, which I've also featured on the channel in the past. It was like having a giant industrial puzzle, and every choice I was making counted. But it wasn't just about building. Once I zoomed out to the world map, things got interesting. I wasn't as fond of this part of the game as the city building, but it was very fast and intuitive. Deciding whether to ally with neighbours or launch an all-out war tested my strategic mettle and thinking, and with over 100 regions to influence or conquer, it felt very impactful and the scale was large. I had genuine excitement though when I annexed new territories, or stress if I felt like things were going slightly sideways. Combat was a so-so aspect for me. I found myself fighting across land, sea and air, and I never really got comfortable with the mechanics. I learned that neglecting it of course led to catastrophic consequences, and it was somewhat satisfying to build up my armies and battalions, but when there was too many things going on I found myself kind of getting checked out, and it wasn't my favourite aspect of the game. I much preferred the city building side of things. I'd be absolutely remiss if I didn't highlight the game's resource management system. Initially, it was very intimidating. There were literally hundreds of items and I felt a bit overwhelmed, but it soon became a rewarding challenge. Managing everything from my iron mines to my factories and churning out, for example, war equipment with these intricate, complex production chains felt very immersive. And it pushes me to carefully think about how I was planning my city and growth along with military production, for example. Keeping those supply chains smooth turned into a little bit of a personal thing for me. There's nothing quite like watching your carefully laid plans come together. I really enjoyed it. Above all, Kaiserpunk surprised me with just how much my planning and decision making mattered. Small choices seemed to ripple out through my economy, and whether I was playing a benevolent industrialist or a ruthless conqueror, it felt like I was shaping my city rather than merely just playing a game. It's fair to say Kaiserpunk mixes in a lot of bits of Civilization, Hearts of Iron and classic city builders into one seriously addictive cocktail. So there we have it, LT Gamers, my first impressions of Kaiserpunk. I don't have enough hours to make a definitive review yet, but I have to say this is a bold and captivating blend of intricate city building and grand strategic conquest, all wrapped up in this fascinating and very visually appealing alternate history package. If you're obsessed with perfecting the city layouts like me, you're really going to enjoy this one. If you're thriving on the more army side of things, I think Kaiserpunk isn't going to be as compelling a game for you. I've lost a lot of hours into perfecting my supply chains and my city, and I find it very strangely addictive. The game officially lands March 21st. I reckon it's one you want to firmly keep on your radar if some of these elements have tickled your fancy. But over to you now guys, let me know in the comments what you think. Of course, drop a like on this video and help with the algorithm, and let me know if there's anything about Kaiserpunk which has particularly caught your eye, and I can always do a fuller review down the line.